This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan, joined by Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr, with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Looking back at the last matchup between these two teams, it was the Clippers who were unable to get it done against the Rockets.
They had major problems at the charity stripe in that game. It was interesting. They just could not make free throws.
Yeah, and that's frustrating to watch, especially on the road where your opportunities at the line tend to be a little more sparse than when you're at home. Boy, you've got to cash in on it.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Blake Griffin down low and DeAndre Jordan. J.J. Redick is out there with Paul, and it's Barnes in at the small forward position.
Nice way for him to get started here early.
And, guys, hopefully a sign of things to come from him here.
Well, Dwight Howard, one of the more criticized stars over the past few seasons, says he's motivated by his critics, and he's had more than a few. Howard playing with a chip on his shoulder. He feels he has a lot to prove.
And it's Beverly missing. Paul with the ball, averaging 19 points per contest. To the wing right side. Barnes kicks to Paul. Barnes against Smith. Fader on the way. Not enough on that one as it misses. And it's Houston's ball. And moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
Their offense really sputtered in that game. They went through stretches where points became very hard to come by.
And Steve, you know, their play wasn't terrible. It wasn't too bad, but this game still is about making shots, and the shot making wasn't there. What a beautiful pass to set that one up.
The pass might have been pretty, but the finish, I thought, caught angry.
That's a heck of a combination. Pretty pass and an angry punch.
I would call it an irate finish even.
And so just over a minute and a half played. And that one's good.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
It's Harden with the drive. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his first foul.
Great defense. He anticipated the play and got there first.
Yeah, I think he got there in time. Nice play.
Harden against Paul with the shot. Josh Smith pulls it in.
You're not doing your team any good forcing a shot like that one.
You know, I agree. He's got to know better than that.
He still couldn't finish, even though it looked like he had a lane to the rim. But too often, that's the story for him.
And he gets it to go. Paul's got his second bucket of the night.
He shouldn't be afraid to take that shot more often. He's solid from there. Well, this last season was the Clippers' 30th in Los Angeles. And for a team that's long played in the Lakers' shadow, the second season in a row, the Clippers were the best team in L.A.
Here's Paul after the Rockets pick up 3. Over in the corner, Barnes. The drive by Paul. He kicks it to Redick from downtown. Here's Jordan. Excellent D from Howard.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Oh, perfect opportunity to finish the break, and he blows it.
Okay, Steve, you have to be able to finish off plays like that. It's a must. And for the Clippers, in their 30 years in L.A., folks, only 6 times have they finished the regular season with a better winning percentage than the Lakers. Man, it's been domination by the Lakers out there in L.A. land. So Clipper fans are hoping that this is a sign of things to come going forward for their team, the Clippers.
Houston in the lead. It's Harden with the drive.
Los Angeles foul called.
The Rockets shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe.
At the line for your Rockets.
They throw good. James Harden.
2 shots.
Harden hits them both.
Boy, that was solid. I tell you, he's one of the best there is up there at the foul line.
Clippers trail by 3. All up top, guarded by Harden. Paul with the buckets. Paul's got his 3rd basket of the night. And guys, for the Clippers, acquiring coach Doc Rivers from the Celtics in exchange for a draft pick. In Boston, he'd been the 2nd longest tenured coach in the league after Greg Popovich.
Yeah, but rather than rebuild, I think he wanted to go for another ring in L.A. He's got a lot of authority, final say on personnel decisions. So Doc has really put his stamp on this team. Matt Barnes, really a good glue guy. Rebounds, defends. He's gotten better with his outside shot, and he can really run the lane. And he's always had a toughness and a fearlessness that I think a lot of coaches love.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Terrence Jones is checked in for Howard. Monte Eunice comes in for Smith. Corey Brewer's checked in for James Harden. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverly. And here's Crawford following Jason Terry's three. For three, it's rebounded by Houston. And you look at advanced plus-minus measurements, Matt Barnes rates very well.
Not surprised by that, Kevin. He brings so much energy at both ends of the floor. He does a lot of those little intangible things that don't always show up on the stat sheet.
Here's Redick. Terrence Jones making his last shot. Griffin kicks to Redick. Clippers moving the ball around. And there's Barnes. That's good on the assist from Redick. Barnes has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Terry dishes to Monte Eunice. Can't get it to go. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
And guys, they were really plagued by foul trouble in that one. Forced them into some makeshift lineups late in the game.
And Steve, the frustrating part for me in that
go.
situation is you can defend without fouling. Just move your feet and don't use your hands.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
DeAndre Jordan alongside Blake Griffin, maybe the best game dunker in the league. He has the ability to make spectacular plays every time he gets near the rim.
And the Rockets making a change here. Leone's checked in. The Clippers also making some changes. Davis is checked in for Jordan. Turkoglu comes in for Barnes. And it's Austin Rivers in for J.J. Redick.
Shout out to my mom.
And for DeAndre Jordan Clark, between his length and his leaping ability, you almost feel like he should be playing an 11-foot, 12-foot rim.
I tell you, when I've watched him play, there are times when it seems as though he's overwhelmed in that 2-foot basket. It really does look that way at times.
It's Davis with the drop. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but through contact, he'll head to the line. It's on Monte Eunice.
Yeah, that's smart basketball. You foul and you send a very poor free throw shooter to the line.
Yeah, I think that's just smart. I mean, especially the way he's been throwing it down. Make him earn it at the stripe.
Glenn Davis suffered that broken bone to his foot towards the end of the 2013 season, and that motivated him to slim down. He got down to the lightest weight he'd been since 8th grade, believe it or not, and still one of the strongest players in the league.
And one of the things that's amazing with Big Baby Davis is how quick on his feet he is for his size. I mean, this guy's, 260, 65 pounds. He's great at covering pick and rolls. He slides in to take charges, and with his strength, you're not going to back him down on the block. Forget about that.
Clippers trail by 5. Crawford outside. Three-pointer. And the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
A little over-eager right there. Left his feet too early.
And if you're already boxed out, you've got to try to work to get around. Otherwise, it's a surefire foul.
Out of bounds, Rockets ball as Houston keeps possession.
Remains Houston ball. 20 seconds on the shot.
On the wing, Terry. He's coming off a 16-point game against Golden State. And the foul on Jason Terry. That is his first foul of the game. For Los Angeles, they've gone 7 of 13, just over 50% from the floor. Some good looks. Crawford, no one around him. Los Angeles with another miss. Monte Eunice with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Nice shot by Terry.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the post should be their first option every time down. Force the defense to adapt and adjust.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Rockets lead by 7 and will return shortly.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Yes, sir.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Rockets.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
Well, the other thing I like is defensively, they're causing turnovers, and that's allowing them to get into transition.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So on the floor for Houston, Beverly and Harden man the backcourt. Montiunas out there with Smith, and it's Howard in at center. Clippers trail by 7. Well, the Rockets, wouldn't you say, are really to be commended, Clark, for rebuilding this team without tearing it down to the studs or tanking, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. I mean, they've improved dramatically with Harden and Howard. But this is a team that's held a winning record in the West now for 8 straight seasons. That's pretty impressive.
It is. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, interestingly, guys, Blake Griffin is not one to retaliate for the hard fouls he takes, and some have taken that for a sign of weakness. Coach Doc Rivers said, "That soft label, I don't get it. Guys come in and get their tails kicked. He's more physical than they thought, and they take it personal. What they don't realize is he's not that guy. He's not what they think he is." Kevin?
He doesn't back down, Doris, but he keeps his composure. Thank you.
And the Rockets showed great patience and planning over time, freeing up cap space, acquiring young assets. That enabled them to trade for James Harden and, of course, attract Dwight Howard in free agency, too.
And he gets the bucket. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
And this Rockets team, for all of its success, is still young, still developing that chemistry, but make no mistake, they've elevated themselves from playoff contender to potential title contender. I think exciting times are certainly in store in Houston.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for the Rockets. And then for the Clippers, DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Griffin. Barnes comes in for Turkoglu, and J.J. Redick is subbed in for Austin Rivers.
Well, you got to like his shot selection today. He set a good example for the rest of his teammates.
The drive by Jordan. Here's Hawes. Shot is no good. Good D by Howard. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. And let's take a second to view a list of shooting guards who have been very dependable offensively this season. These two guards are the most accurate in the league. Take a look at Redick, leading the league in field goal percentage. He always gets good looks.
Now, he's not a wasteful player. I mean, that much we've learned. He makes the most of the good looks he gets. And if it's not there, he's not going to force a bad shot.
But you know what, Steve? It's not all about shot selection. Let's not overlook what an unbelievable shooter he is, period. I mean, he can knock them down from all over the court with defenders draped all over him.
The Rockets shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
Guys, this has been one of the weaknesses for this team all season long. They're shooting just 71% as a team.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
Paul outside. Fires from 18. Dwight Howard pulls it in. Howard's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Well, Dwight Howard, I think, still the best center in the league, but I think his back injury back in 2012 has robbed him of some of his explosiveness. But despite that, he remains one of the most athletic centers the league has ever seen.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. It's Harden with the drive. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Harden's got 6.
Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. That's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
That's good. 6 points for Barnes.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
That was the 9th straight point from behind the arc, Clark. It feels like they're finding the holes in this defense.
Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Paul. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Here's Beverly. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Beverly's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for Houston. Clippers trail by 8. Barnes with it. 6 points for him. Jordan kicks to Redick. A three-pointer off the mark.
A clear look at the hoop. He doesn't miss many of those.
To the middle. Here's Ariza. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Well, they already had him staggered, and now all of a sudden